Greetings, everybody, and welcome to episode 74 of the Sitcast, aka the Siblings in Cardboard podcast. I'm your host, Noah, joined by my wonderful buddies and best buddies in the world, Thomas, Justin, and Donnie. Whether you're a first-timer or a veteran card gamer, just testing the waters, that's completely backwards. We are all Siblings in Cardboard. It's been a wild week. Guys, it has been a wild week, and we have a lot to talk about in Flesh and Blood, so how is everybody? And how did everybody enjoy the wonderful, exciting, calling that just happened in Brazil if you watched it? A lot of good Flesh and Blood.
Man, I love new.
Mm-hmm.
I am very sad that Acilio did not make top 8 because I love Acilio.
What was the final placement of that Acilio?
I think he was 9 or 10.
Oh,
He's like
was it a
almost
bubble
there.
situation or?
Clearly like a 1 loss off.
Well, Noah had me running drugs, aka cardboard, to people at Level Up. So I went to Armory, and I was considering staying home and playing Monster Hunter and watching Sao Paolo, but I went to Armory instead. Noah kind of pushed me over.
I did.
How'd they go?
I came over and I made an offer.
I went undefeated on Riptide.
There you go. See,
I got
it all
to
works out.
Okay, so I got to play against Will, and he's testing out Enigma. And I got to do the favorite thing that every Riptide player does playing Riptide. It's the best thing that you ever do. It's when someone plays a defense reaction out of hand and you just push the Dreadbore in their direction.
And you remind them that they can't
I told
do
him
it.
at the beginning of the game, I'm like, Dreadbore's the one that will trip you up. You can't play defense reactions out of hand. And then mid-game, he plays it out of hand, and I go, Dreadbore.
You just go in the tank and you're just like, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to block this.
He goes, I'm not going to reverse back to blocks. I need to live the trauma. I'm like, yep, we got to live. Yeah. Everyone's got to live that trauma. Oh, and it was even better because I also, it was on hit, seek and destroy. So that,
nice. So you just locked him out of
that sync blow was toast.
Yeah, never had a chance.
That hurts.
I don't know. I had to travel a lot this week, so I didn't get to actually like play in person or do anything like that. But I've been playing a lot of Acilio again because it's the Goblin Mask that just calls at me and tells me to play him all the time. And I'm currently coping on the Acilio being insane. And yeah,
I mean, he put up some numbers this weekend. I didn't get to see him on camera. Was the list unique in any way?
It depends. Well, depends on how much Acilio you pay attention to. Because I think stock now is to also play Yellow Blast to Oblivion, and it was shown on camera. Why is because Blast to Oblivion plus Sigil Brilliance is one of the dumbest things you can do in cardboard.
So Red Blast and Yellow Blast.
Yeah, you run 6.
Wait. So we've gone back full circle from like pre-release, where it's like Ultimate Bounce House Acilio. We're back there to the Ultimate Bounce House Acilio.
Yeah, so you do the bounce house stuff, but now you play like defensive tools basically to survive long enough to get to the bounce house, and that's the deck. And then you just try to play like normal fab for a couple turns. You have the one turn that's insane, and then you go back. But yeah, so like I don't know. I'm testing Acilio just because I love Acilio and I want him to be good.
So, other than that, I also participated in the Aggro Blaze tournament. I learned that I'm very bad on Talishar when I have like a bunch of noise in my house. Dude, I punted a game so hard just because of that like lack of focus. Flesh and Blood is really hard, man. Like as soon as there's like any real distractions or a break in like my chain of thought over the course of a few turns, it just never comes back. And sometimes with heroes, like I was playing Vincent, right? And man, I don't want to talk about it anymore. But Aaron won it. Aaron Cuthbert.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nice.
Good.
He high rolled the crap out of me on round 1. It was, of course, me and Aaron round 1 all the time in a lot of these competitions. But he Teklo Foundries searching for just any card worth drawing, and finds a max V on top, draws it, and kills me with it.
That's pretty good.
Wow.
So I was just like, Aaron, dude, it's round 1. You can't do this to me. And by the way, I had him locked for the rest of the game. I was going to throw a 1-card 11 at him when he was at 10. And so I was just going to do that. I had a couple Malefics out. I was just going to 1-card 8s, 1-card 10s over and over again until he died. But nope, he max feed me in the face and I died.
That happens sometimes. I think he is currently at the top of the standings for the Cards R Us League thing, isn't he?
It's me and him are going to play tomorrow.
Okay.
Yep. So, yep, rematch.
He is very good. He is very, very good at the game.
You got to beat him in that one now.
We'll see. Don't think I'm favored as Vincent into Dio. I run a lot of 2 blocks, but I don't think I'm unfavored either.
You're disruptive.
Yep.
You just got to see it. It's got to line up.
Yeah, I just finished my game before we started recording, and it was Mario versus Prism, and it went about as well as you think it would. I got squashed like a bug. I have 2 poppers in the list, and they were both on the bottom of the deck, and yeah. Enough said about that one.
2 true poppers? Like, what do you mean, like 7s? Or do you
No,
have
6s.
six?
So I got a Death
poppers.
Touch and a
Series.
CNC. Yep, Death Touch and CNC. Everything else is 3 or less.
So,
That's tough.
but there was stuff that happened this week, and I definitely think it affected the market.
Oh no, man!
Hey.
Was there ever things that happened this
Yeah.
week? There's
Do
a
we-
few cards that moved.
Should we talk about what happened first, or do we talk about the market first?
So we can kind of, I don't know.
Or do we
'cause
just do
there's
both at
actually-
the same time?
There's actually like a lot of drama behind what happened first, right? And then it kind of got resolved. It rolled over nice and smooth. There's a tweet from James White saying like, yeah, sometimes your ship leaks, but we power through. That kind of thing. Motivational.
Yeah.
So
we can at least explain what happened and then go from there.
So a quick summary is the 3 heroes for the High Seas got spoiled via Fabled package accidentally or too early, right? They probably broke their advertisement date or something. They thought they were maybe supposed to advertise when they received the material, but it came out early, which created a ton of hype, but it was unscheduled hype. And so I think after that, LSS just embraced it. You know, they like to give up the heroes in like keynote speeches and stuff, right? So it's really probably something safe for Pro Tour now that they're probably writing some new script for Pro Tour. But we're still all pumped. I love all 3 heroes. I was a little bit down on the mechanologist until I saw one of the cards get spoiled for her, and then I'm big up. But yeah, I'm sure the mechanologist market is up a little bit, but I bet there's a few cards that are up really high because of a certain pirate with a silly name.
It's weird. I mean, there's definitely cards that are up, but Mechanologist exclusive, I don't think I saw anything. Ranger exclusive didn't have any big moves. I don't think people are very sold on, I guess, what they do. And then we'll have to talk about the product, because I think that actually does kind of, at least for anybody trying to speculate, it really does kind of, make it hard to kind of guess, because with that type of product coming out, potential reprints, things like that, you're not entirely sure. As well as I think the common and rare card pool really fleshes out the hero, and so it's there's some things that are lying in wait. But let's jump right into it. I think it's safe to say that if the ability or the card had anything to do with gold, it went up. I think I messaged somebody about cash in, and I was like, man, it's like, is it time? And I was like, no, it's banned.
Yeah,
It was like, oh, it's like,
it's banned,
okay.
it's banned.
I was like, that's good, because if it wasn't banned, this would be a really, really big
My
issue.
God, I'd be so sad I don't have them, because cash in Maryland would be dope.
I mean, things like pay up, which is what I just navigated to really quick. It says the word if defending hero controls gold, it gets overpowered. So kind of really gold hate. So things with gold hate are going up. This is now $14 for a normal majestic, up 3-month high up of 2,319%, and 1-month high of 432%. Just to give you an idea that this card wasn't selling at all. I think you could have got it for $3 just 5 days ago. Not anymore though. That's not how this game works. So you're looking at $14 for non-foils and $25 for lightly played, up to $27 for rainbow foils. So people go really fast in this game.
Or pay.
Again, for payout.
Payout.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
For
Would you like to
payout.
read payout?
Yeah. Well, I mean, payout is a block 3, cost 3. It is a red attack with 6 power. If defending hero controls a gold, this gets overpower. when this hits a hero, gain control of a gold token they control. If you don't, deal 1 damage to them. It's actually pretty good.
No, it's not.
No, it's not as bad.
Don't
It's
listen
not
to
even
him,
good
guys. It's
against
actually
heroes
pretty
that
good.
have gold.
It's pretty.
Most of the heroes that have gold have block cards and defense reactions. This card
And even then,
sucks.
you're working really hard just to take a piece of gold, and it's like,
Yeah,
if your
maybe-
hero's good,
maybe
You
that-
know this against a Victor. He goes, "Ha ha! I'm just gonna block it and make 2 gold instead, and then hit you for Miller's Hammer for 8." Like,
Victor isn't the person I'd be bringing this into, but the new heroes maybe
or
don't
then
want to
like
block.
all of them have crazy gold engines, so you just like do the gold engine thing.
hold on,
We'll see.
hold on. I guarantee you, Maryland's gonna run Tar Pit Trap. Literally, which says this card literally has no text because if you try to end your chain on it, you're Tar Pit trapped and doesn't have an on hit anymore.
I don't.
We'll see.
I don't make the speculations or the cards rise. Okay, they see something that hates
No,
on gold,
yeah.
they buy something that hates on gold. What do you?
Yeah.
So
What?
I saw
ridiculous.
pay
This
up go up
card
as well, and I was
sucks
like,
so
this is
much.
dumb.
What am I supposed to do about it?
What else went up? What else went up?
So performance bonus is another thing that does gold. It says when this hits, create a gold token. If this is played from Arsenal, it gets to go again. Solely just the extended arts and the promos, might I add, because they're rares. But I'd just like to point out that how deep this goes. So it goes deep, guys. It goes deep and it goes fast.
There was a promo performance bonus.
Yeah, there was 2. There was an extended art,
What?
and then there was a whatever.
Yeah, there's 2 of them. Wow.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah, we got one of them from like a pack or something like that. It came in
I
there.
remember like Victor's wanted to try to run this at
Holy
first, and then everyone
smokes.
realized this card is bad.
And they're up. I think they're both like $30 plus now. I think
Yeah.
the extended art one is like 33, and then I think the actual promos 24, I want to say. I guess we could save like well, no, let's just go on. Terra Sender's up. I don't necessarily think that has to do with any of the spoilers. It's just up. It's $14 now for a normal card. It's it's crept up. Used to be about $8-9 card. A little less than that. I think it's just people still speculating if Guardian Mastery Pack rolls around.
Yeah, probably the closer we get to that, the more the Guardian stuff's going to start going up again.
Terra Sunder's
Yeah.
a hard card to get, guys. I mean, not really, I guess, but it's ELE, so you take your pick how you want to go with that. I mean, there's the sets floating around there. It's for more first edition than not. So, if you want your unlimiteds for some reason, you might want to just grab a playset of Terra Sunder. Really good card. I mean, it's hard not to have a playset of Terra Sunder.
If you like Guardian, yeah.
Yeah, if you like Guardian. Truce went up in both facets, both the extended arts. The extended arts got completely bought out of TCG Player for a period of time. I don't know if there are actually that is a good one to check because I just looked at the normal one. There's one for $95, which is actually pretty good considering that one sold for $100. So there's exactly one Truce extended art on Flesh and Blood or on TCG Player. Regular Truce is $17, $18. Somewhere around $18 to $20. It's up.
It's a good card.
An okay amount. I
It's
feel
solid.
like it's just more people are like trying to integrate it and play around with it than any type of like new hero hype. But
Well, no, it
this
is
was
new hero
interesting.
hype. It is new hero hype. You need a critical mass of blues for some of Gravy Bones stuff to work, I think.
Anything that's a titanium bauble that new can't use will go up in value at some point.
New can use Truce.
She uses it. She plays out to so uses her chi to play Truce, and it's like card neutral, right? You're turning the best card in your deck into the literal worst card in their deck.
I don't think that's 100% fair, but
It's that idea, though, right? Like
you
when-
could have go
like, I
again
played-
that you maybe pull out too, and then you finish. That's like why Trot Along in Florian can be so scary into new because.
well, that's not a titanium bauble. That's a real card.
Right, but she
Trot
plays
Along's a good
Trot
card.
Along, swings for something with go again, and then plays Truce. You go.
I
"Ooh,
mean,
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I've played quite a few truces out of the Banished Zone, and I'm never mad about it.
You're
Just
never
saying.
over the moon either, though. It's like, all right, well,
No.
it's a card.
Gives
Yeah,
you a chance
I mean, it's
to,
it's
it
playable.
Gives you a chance to peek a card off the top and maybe get closer to your mill
Yeah,
strategy,
like-
and then you play truce, which means you basically can't die the next turn when you play truce.
but-
Like,
My point being is that it's like I've had enough of my truces taken by news where I don't care.
yeah,
Like you can play my truce out. I don't care.
it's better than Autumn's Touch in your face for 5. That is
Or
true.
Fruits, or Seeds of Tomorrow, or an Oath of the Arknight that goes into a Rune Rager Swarm, or Dread Triptych because you can't stop the Arcane, and so you just get super smashed. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, truce.
This
Truce,
guy has
yeah.
trauma. What's the
I
next
love
card?
Yeah.
Knew it was so much fun.
Let's take a look at a couple of mech cards. We could just throw them in order. And in fact, I went and checked on Teklo. Teklo doesn't look like it's going up. Teklo Foundry Heart exclusively. Let me actually.
That makes sense because we don't know for sure that the new hero will even boost very often.
I don't think she will.
True.
I think she'll boost some, but Tekla Foundry Heart might be really unreliable. I would think that she's at for initial thought she'll be a Tunic deck.
Yep.
So Heist, kind of gaining a little bit of traction. What's up, Donnie?
Is that or an Evo deck? Sorry, didn't mean to.
No.
Ooh, could
She could
be.
She could try and slide
gonna
toward the
talk
Evo
about that.
side of things.
I'm gonna talk about that.
She definitely could. There's some kind of indication that she might be more of that than like a traditional mech, which would be nice. It would open up the card pool a little bit more for our other friendly Evo deck. That
Did Master Cog move?
it did. We're getting there.
Okay, thank God.
It did. It did move a little bit. You know, again, the hype runs deep. I'm telling you. Usually the way it works is mechnologist,
good,
and then it goes. Well, it's really good because I think of what's going to interact with a very static card that's going to be on the.
You always have
mechnologist
golden
board.
cogs out.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at. Like you're pretty much starting, if not always mandatorily getting that out. Teist, kind of up 21%. I mean, I would just kind of watch it. It's at $24 normal, and then it jumps. Actually, it's at $29. Excuse me. So it's going to get right into the $30 quite quickly. So Heist is definitely on there, and then Twin Drive, always a card to watch. $32 right now. There's only one of them. Then it jumps up to $37. So you're looking at really pretty much like $40 for Twin Drive again, which is kind of where it was at when that real crazy time was. I think Twin Drive was like a $60 foil at one point. I want to say like it was pretty wild. So you definitely want to watch those two cards. As more spoilers come out. Here comes Master Cog. Master Cog's a $90 rainbow foil now, which is pretty crazy considering it was like
That's a good
not
card.
real. Just so everybody's aware, Master Cog is a fabled. You can only have one of them. When it's pitched, you may put a steam counter on an item you control with Crank, and we'll get into kind of why that that might work out really well with the new hero. We did that. Sigil of Cycles, specifically the Marvel, don't know why. End of February, they got completely bought out at like $19-20. It's now
Sigil of Cycles, I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later why Sigil of Cycles, but yes,
Okay.
that has a reason.
It's about a $45 card right now, and there's really only one. Then it jumps up to $60. So I would put it at about a $60 card for the Marvel. Nobody get crazy. The normal Sigil of Cycles is $60. We'd be in some weird.
It's
weird
a common.
world.
Yeah, we'd be in hell if that happened.
Yeah, this would be a wild ride.
What does it even do? I don't know what that one does.
Sure.
Draw discard.
Yeah, it's an aura. Go again at the beginning of your action phase. You destroy it, discard a card, and draw a card.
Yeah, sometimes skipping Rosetta bites people. Me.
Wait, can't you necessarily nasty surprise yourself with that and hit your opponent with that?
I think
that's
Nasty
funny.
Surprise. Hold on. Nasty Surprise.
Oh, no,
says
sorry.
that
You
affect
can't
your
discard
opponent
Nasty
controls.
Surprise.
It's
sorry.
with your opponent controls. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking
okay.
about gravy. I was thinking about gravy bones, but we'll talk about that later.
Hey, just so we're aware, Nasty Surprise is also kind of going up. Just I had to go check it.
Did
just to be on
Ripple Away
the safe
also go
side.
up?
It probably did. We're in that real weird time period again where
Everything creeps up some, right?
everything creeps up because of a new hero. So if it's meta dependent too, and it might hit a hero.
Ripple Away seems to be kind of stable. It's a little up.
Good.
Yeah, I mean it's Up 17%. It's like from 15 to 17. It's creeping up.
Oh no! Did system reset go up?
Oh, it's funny you say that because there was that part where it jumped up because of the whole deal line, and then it like went away. System reset is
Buffalo once per turn.
It's an $8 card. I mean,
Yeah.
I would say that you got to
It's not
kind
too
of
bad.
watch it.
It's up a little bit. It is up.
It is up a little bit. So whether or not these are, well, system reset's definitely targeted. I don't know about Nasty Surprise. I think there are quite a few cards that actually say you need to discard from the new heroes. So
Okay.
who knows?
Yeah. Sorry.
No,
I'm
it's
reading cards over here. If I look,
it's good. It's fine.
off screen,
I like
like
the
a
real
bozo.
time. The real time lookups. No surprise. Every one of those heroes has gold. Every one of those heroes has the option to draw. Balance of Justice has jumped right back up to kind of where it was. $174 now for Balance of Justice Rainbow Foil. Probably one of the first things to spike as soon as the heroes were spoiled, because they had a lot of gold attached to them, and so everybody was like, "Yay! I get to use my Balance of Justice again."
We'll see if
along
that
those
pans
same
out.
We will. Along those same lines, Hold the Line kind of went back up as well. People are like, wait a minute, card draw's back.
that's a good call.
I want my D react that does that. So Hold the Line is a defense reaction, just in case anybody's not aware. Blue defense reaction. It's kind of a bad one because it's really good when it's good and really bad when it's not.
It's on rate when it's not. It's a blue.
Well,
It's a blue block too when it's not.
Yeah, it's a blue block too, which is, I mean, you're okay with it. If the attacking hero has drawn 2 or more cards this turn, prevent the next 3 damage that would be dealt to your hero this turn. Keyword there is the next 3, so it is instances of 1, 1, and 1. It is 3 floating prevention, very good. In this kind of meta that we're in right now with split damage, except most of the ones that do split damage don't necessarily draw 2 or more cards. But it is up to $15 for normals. Rainbow Foil's around $25, so might want to pick those up. If draw is kind of in that engine, it will continue to go up. Rotten Remains. I think somewhere in this world, I told you guys way at the beginning when that card was first released, I said, this is a card I like. I said, this is a card you want to get 100 copies of, set them aside, and realize one day they may or may not be worth something. And Rotten Remains is now a $10 Majestic. And this is the world we live in, baby, where if you listen to me, you might actually win when it comes to this stuff. I have quite a few Rotten Remains, which is really crazy because I didn't go out and buy that many. I also realized that I didn't actually put them on the market, and I'm kind of happy because I must have thought to myself, this isn't good until it's good. I was like, we're gonna
Who's
act like they don't exist.
From the new set?
It's gonna hate on Necro. Don't worry about it.
You think there's
You're
going to
gonna
be a
be
bunch
able
of
to
one-attack
take a
zombies that are
I
sitting in
don't
this
know.
graveyard?
I don't make the rules. I just try and read the cards and tell you whether they're going to go up or not. I
We'll
read
talk
Warlock.
about it later.
Maybe a Graven Ashwing or something.
I don't know.
I mean, it's really good against
I don't
Syndra.
know. He doesn't make the rules, but the card went up.
That's right. I don't make the rules. I just try and tell you guys when I look at cards. Like Morlock Hill, that card had to have been made for some reason, right? Lord
That was
knows I don't know
flavor.
what it is yet. James White doesn't just make it for flavor.
Yeah,
It's okay.
Morlock
By the way,
Hill
it's one of the
definitely
worst
is.
warrior instants I've ever seen in my life. So I don't know how you'd ever play it because I think it is blitz specific unless somehow.
No, it's literally not. You could play it in your deck. I don't know why you would, but
But you can't, because there's no Minerva at the Mai. You cannot play Minerva at the Mai in a non-blitz deck yet.
But you can.
That's
play,
right.
You,
Yet.
you can still play Morlock
Anyways.
Hill.
When you can, though, I'll be there
Man,
with multiple copies. Call to the Grave was the biggest winner, and or loser if you don't have them. This was a card that I think I told you guys would be problematic at one point in time. I think this card eventually gets banned anyway, so I wouldn't really do too much about it. But it is legal right now. Any game has a problem when a card you could just put it we'll get to, this is gonna be a Yu-Gi-Oh problem. At some point.
$41.
Yeah, $41 for normal Majestic.
That low?
Yeah, yes, that low right now, which is kind of crazy. I think people are a little scared that there might be reprints in the Armory deck. don't know how I necessarily feel if there are or not. I mean, Rosetta is a kind of a bygone set. It's hard to say that because it's really relatively new, but go try and get Rosetta. It's pretty up there in terms of price. Some places have the boxes readily available. I just Rosetta prices are up right now.
It's
like a
really
lot of
clear.
cars at Rosetta.
It's really clear this is a 3 of in the new Necromont.
There's a window
yeah.
slam 3 of in Gravy Bones. So there's
Like,
no question
100%.
asked.
Easy.
And it's really clear that this was printed for him as like
Yes.
because LSS does their like spoilers a couple sets ahead of time across their generics a lot of times.
Mhm. For the sets that they're really hyped about, yeah.
That's why everyone
Nope,
pretty
this
much
is-
knew there was going to be a Necromancer because of Call of the Grave.
Yeah. We also, but like, we didn't see that many cards that really told us that Hunted was coming, but we saw plenty of cards that told us that MST and Rosetta were coming.
Mm-hmm.
And also pirates.
Yeah, and also all the pirates that we've seen for this set. So, you know.
I wonder if
Anyway,
LSS goes, man, our players are so smart. They always figure it out.
Oh Lord, I had to look up the extended art. Oh man, good thing I got some Rosetta coming. I want to see if I can pull one of these. $270 for the extended art right now. It's gonna join that that Shelter from the Storm type price tag. By the way, Shelter's still $385. It's not $420.69 right now, but somehow I feel like it will go back to $420.69. Just whoever's doing it
The
out
dude's
there.
just
I
waiting
don't know
for
if
his
you're
paycheck to come in.
Dude, yeah,
Dude, I
it's like,
can't wait for it.
I gotta keep getting these. By the way, that card still stays at about $80 plus every time. Hard to find a card that doesn't have more static value in this game that does like this than that card. So when that thing goes down low to 69 and people are like, I'll wait till you go lower. No, that's not how this works. At about $69 or $60 for normals, that's cheap because it's going to go right back to 89. I think Codex of Frailty is still 100, just to give you guys an idea on that. Warmonger's still 78. So these are cards that you just need to get. Like, let's be real. Warmongers does not go down. The set's not around. That's not really a good rhyme, but it kind of is. But just be real. Get your Warmongers. Get those cards early, guys. It's not something to dance around. Unless it somehow gets reprinted, it will not cushion that price down.
Warmongers
It's
is
gonna
probably
stay
good
around
against all 3 of these heroes. Maybe
Very.
Puffin is resilient, but the other 2, ooh.
How is Puffin resilient? We'll talk about. And are there more cards? What else?
there. 2 more. New Horizons.
Yeah.
Everybody should know about. It just continues to go up.
Love that card.
This was actually a Donnie call more than anything. So yeah, you guys, I'm telling you, you guys got to listen. If anything, just listen and get your cards early. 172 now for the unlimited rainbow foil, cold foil 184. So people respecting a
man.
little bit of the cold foil bling. But guys, you should know this. Like, if there's ever a word, the word on the card sends every other card up. That's just how that's how it works. I don't make the rules. That's why pay up went up. I didn't tell you to do it. They see gold, and then everything went up with gold in it. So, lastly, it's got to be more Guardian. Rampart of the Ram's Head is back up to $80 or $75 for the rainbow foil. Dude, I wake up
I
and
love
some of
that
the
card.
weirdest things happen. I took a nap. I woke up. I said, I gotta check the market. Luckily, it was so volatile because of all this, but like, I saw Ramparts under the best selling and I was like, what where are we at? Are we in Oldham days again? What is going on?
That's got to be Blitz related. That's got to be a Terra
Could be.
thing.
I was gonna say it might actually be a mixture of both. Terra is a terror if you're not ready for that full fatigue package that he can bring. And when I mean full fatigue,
Crown of Seeds
I
is
mean
back.
like Crown of Seeds is back as well. But I mean full fatigue.
And the defensive
with,
cards have gotten so much better.
oh dude, it's so oh my god. I didn't even know
Crown of
Withstand was a
Seeds,
real
Peace of
card.
Mind, Withstand, Staunch Response. Yeah. Yeah.
It's gross. If you're still playing Skirmish season, please prepare for Terra full fatigue. If you're not prepared for it and you sit down against it, you might as well just go make a sandwich. Go get lunch while he plays out 40 minutes of your life and come back.
I mean, he only has to swing the hammer at you like 5 times. It is Blitz.
Oh,
With the claws on.
it is such an efficient deck. We talked about it, I think, last pod a little bit with the pitch to Crown, pitch to Ramparts, make the Might token with the last one. It so cleanly uses 3 resources. It's unreal.
Mhm.
Oh, it's gross. It's gross. It's efficient and gross. That's all I got though.
So I bought 3 of a kinds from Andrew Lorenz, who was kind enough to sell them to me for $7, and I'm so grateful because they're double.
15 right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I didn't mention 3 of a kind because we mentioned it last week. But roughly the same thing, guys. 3 of a kind's on the map again.
How much is a Maryland deck gonna cost? Like
Maryland, brother, that is Marlin.
Marlin.
That is
You're
the fish.
Right.
It's
That's
Marlin
the fish.
Marlin, the fish.
It's
but
a
I'm gonna
fish.
call it Maryland
Okay,
as well
I'll
because I
fix
can't.
it in my head right now. It's Marlin. But how
Marlin.
much is Marlin gonna cost? Like she's gonna be a ton,
A lot.
right? 3 Codex of Frailties.
That's 300 right there.
3 of a kinds. New Horizons.
45. $200.
Probably Tunic.
Another 180.
You may play Trench because you may be like card cycling so quick, but Trench is not expensive, so that's probably fine.
Yeah,
it might be
$50
Tunic
for now.
You need to have both. And you need like
You might play. Well,
I'm just gonna imagine we're getting boots.
So let's
we
go
are
back.
getting
and let's
some
read.
legendary fishing boots. Some kind of fishing related. I'm
I'm in.
We're
Yeah.
getting some kind of. I
Well,
promise you, the feast slot is covered.
Soggy bottom toes.
Oh,
That's
dude, there's
gonna
gonna
be
be some.
No,
some
if we don't have a captain's
warm
hat as the
boots.
pirate card, I will be
Well,
pissed.
both.
But I
both.
can't wear a captain's hat on Marlin.
Yeah, you can.
I'm playing
No,
New
but
Horizon,
the-
man. Like,
But yeah, you played New Horizon in this deck. New Horizon is insane.
Then it's gonna be boots.
For those who haven't read Marlin yet, let's probably read Marlin, the treasure hunter. Action, we don't know what this symbol officially is yet. We think it is basically
tap.
tapping.
Let's
It,
be real.
context clue says tap, but we have not officially seen that yet. And it's kind of like a once per turn thing. Destroy a gold you control. Create a goldfin harpoon in your hand. Go again. Whenever you draw a card during your action phase, you may put an arrow from your hand face up into your arsenal. And a goldfin harpoon is considered a yellow, but it can't be pitched. It is a 0 cost, 2 power. Pirate Ranger attack, arrow attack. Yeah, Pirate Ranger action, arrow attack. And it can't be put into the graveyard. It would be removed from the game. So it has the ephemeral text.
they're running out of text space in that little bottom section, aren't they? Like
Nope,
the
go
deck
again
of auction
naturally on
cards.
it.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
no
of
go
course,
again
not.
naturally on the harpoon. Yeah.
But
No go
but
again naturally on the harpoon.
There will be things that will
Like,
probably allow her to do that.
you could draw a handful of pumps, and you never think to myself, "Oh no, I lose the game." You go, "Oh no, I win."
Yeah. You just go pre-med, seek and destroy, release the tension, activate Marlin, get that goldfin harpoon, draw somehow, or we don't know.
Well, 3 of a kind. If you draw, can you load for
Yep, double
one every
load.
time?
Yeah,
so every
double
time
load.
you draw,
Hold on. You can play 3 of a kind, load, shoot both arrows, activate Tunic, Death Dealer, load, shoot both arrows.
Mhm.
What?
Wait, where's the other
Because
load coming from?
What?
you draw the card,
From
and
Death
then
Dealer.
Marlin trigger goes on the stack after you draw the card, so you can put that one in there as well.
Death Dealer
Well, yeah,
loads
but you
2
can't-
arrows.
So
Not a
like
fan of that.
Rainbow-
Okay,
Rainbow Second Shot is like where it starts.
I gotta figure out how to get these cards go again.
I'm still sorry. I was still stuck on the third card from 3 of a kind drawing. Like you can't load the third card. There's no way that you
Death
can.
Dealer.
No. What I'm saying is when you draw the 3 cards initially from 3 of a kind, there's no way you load on the first 2. On that third draw, your thing's full. Like there's no way to.
That
Yeah.
part's full. You got
Okay.
you go load, fire at least one arrow, activate
Right.
Death Dealer, put the other
Right.
one in now. Then you have done all of it.
Well, I mean, you could, like you said, he could empty the arsenal somehow. I mean, so Rain Razors. Oh God, hold on. Let me go check Rain Razors.
Technically, you could put. We have to see the rules reprise if it creates 3 different stacks with Marlin, because technically you could put one in. No, they go in face up, so you can never trench it. No, there's no way to get all 3 arrows in the arsenal.
But this also says when you draw a card. So it's like every instance of card draw. So 3 of a kind should put 3 triggers of this on the stack.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it will, but I don't unless they
feels like.
add some other instant ability that could bottom a face up card. I don't think there's any way to get all 3 cards in the arsenal.
Yeah.
I'd like to
But
note.
dude, she's gonna be.
Yeah, I'd like to note before we go on to the other heroes that the tap symbol. I mean, we're not LSS official. We could say tap all we want. You can.
Oh, it's tap.
Watsy can go like
I
crack a
promise
mountain
you.
or something. that it's not a once per turn action. It is a
Nope.
resource cost of some type, which we think it's turning the card sideways. That means there's
And we
opportunity.
think that's once per turn. Yeah.
Yeah, there's opportunity to turn it back and do it again. Right?
I see.
That's the difference between a once per turn action and this thing that we're getting.
Recyclable tap thing.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be some way to untap and tap. I would hope so, given the interaction of the cards so far that we've seen from the limited spoilers. Like, it feels like some of your allies are going to be used to provide extra defense or offense, and I think you're going to have to choose. That way it won't be such an oppressive ally hero if it's going to play like Dromine. Now, granted, none of these, as we're getting there, we'll talk about it, none of them have go again. But even for the mechanologist hero, I feel like you want multiple ways of tapping and untapping that golden cog because your cards interact with it, getting go again or +1. So there will probably be things in there that say, hey, do this or that. In fact, I might even suggest the Fabled would be a good way of getting into all three decks, is to make it be some way to untap something that's tapped.
The Fable's going to untap for sure.
That would be my early guess as to what the Fabled would do. Because then it plays in all three decks, and you feel really good about pulling it. Really good about pulling it.
It's going to be some kind of compass, right? We already got a compass.
Definitely a compass. Some kind of
it's going to be like Jewel of the Ocean or something.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Set my jib.
The prize jewel or something.
Really
Yeah.
No, it's got to be Jewel of the Ocean, because then you got Titanic throwbacks.
Yo, but
nice.
Something in there has to be about setting my jib. That's like such a good old sailor talk.
I'm sure we're going to get some nautical
there will be
terms.
something there. Don't worry.
There's going to be so many good
nonsense.
puns. I'm really looking forward to the puns in this set.
Something we haven't talked about with Marlin yet that's very exciting to me is King Shark Harpoon. It's a 2-cost, 6-power pirate ranger action arrow attack. It blocks 3. It has the Go Fish keyword, which we don't. I mean, it's when this hits, reveal a card from your opponent's hand, and then if it's a certain type, do things. This one is if it's an attack action card, they discard it and you create a gold token. But this is the part that I'm interested in, is if you've activated a cannon this turn, instead look at their hand and choose a card. So we're getting a cannon.
So you're playing battleships and Go Fish. By the way, you get to tell your opponent Go Fish. You get to say to them, Go Fish. That's like, the only thing better than that was Crank and Bank.
Yeah, it's so good.
Dude, there are some really good keywords.
I'm very excited for, and we're bearing the lead because everybody wants to talk about Gravy Bones, but
actually, I want to kind of take a step back.
Go ahead.
In the Discord, the Level Up Discord, there was a brief chat about whether or not pirate is a class or if it's an actual talent.
Pirate's a class.
Confirmed dual class.
Pirate is a
confirmed dual class.
Yeah, it's in the
confirmed dual class. It's in the announcement. It's also in sources at LSS. It is dual class.
I mean, it might be semantic, but it does indicate a possible we're treating this differently. We could have a base pirate that's nothing else.
It is
honestly,
that
semantic. Makes me feel a lot better, because I did not like the idea of pirate being a talent, because that just flavor-wise, that did not make sense to me.
Does that mean we're going to have split cards as in pirate/ranger, meaning a pirate or a ranger could potentially play it, meaning Azalea might get cards as well?
Probably.
We could, in theory, get that.
But the split cards we've gotten so far, you could only put them in your deck if you are both classes.
No. I think it means hybrid.
I mean hybrid cards. Sorry, not the split cards as in 2 cards. I mean the hybrid. Think heavy hitters. Take it on the chin. Brute warrior. Right. Things like that. Are we going to get now pirate ranger, meaning, hey, if you're a pirate, good for you. Hey, if you're a ranger, so Azalea maybe gets a little something.
I think our draft structure and card structure is going to be similar to MST, where you just have like pirate ranger cards where it's like the dual class pirate ranger.
Right.
You're going to have ranger cards. You're going to have necromancer cards. You're going to have mech cards, and then you're going to have pirate up here.
It fits better that way.
So it's just going to function like a talent, but it's going to be classed as a class.
For now, yes, it's going to feel like a talent, but wait, trust.
So, I want to talk about the last Marlin card that got spoiled. That's the big game trophy shot. It's a yellow 2-cost majestic that blocks for 3. Your next arrow attack this turn gets +4. If it has harpoon in its name, it gets when this hits a hero, create a gold token. Draw a card, then discard a card. Go again. This card is extremely underrated.
But that means that there is probably a harpoon card that's going to be wild.
I actually don't think it's that underrated.
I mean, technically, you get a 3-card 9 out of it, which is fine, right? Most 1-cost arrows come in for 5.
Well, no. So say you're shooting a harpoon, right? So say you just made the goldfin harpoon or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you use big game trophy shot. You do the thing. That's a 2-card 6 that makes a gold token, and that gives you another goldfin harpoon. So it's a delayed 2-card 8 if you're doing the math, or like let's just say 2-card 6 because you had the goldfin harpoon, but like it's replacing itself. So it's making a gold token, which will give you 2 more damage later, right?
The only thing I'd like to note here is I think that next line of text could be important. The draw a card, then discard a card, because that's how she loads it, right?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why is she discarding a card? Do you think that she might interact with the graveyard in some way too? Like, though, I can already think of a good use case. This is like early game. You get a decent graveyard already for your Codex of Frailty, because sometimes that actually is a struggle. At the beginning of the game, you draw Codex of Frailty, it's worthless. But this
absolutely.
Yeah, this puts a card in there.
She's gonna have.
I think it's so that she can
too.
activate. I think it's that she can activate her second line of text, where it's like if you have a goldfin harpoon in hand already, it's just a way to get the harpoon in your arsenal.
You know, and I'm reading this. If she's creating her arrows, and let's just think that goldfin harpoons might be her go-to arrow, which I mean, what it kind of looks like. Maybe there's ways to give it go again. Maybe there's ways to give it dominate. That frees up the amount of arrows that you would run. I mean, you might potentially not run arrows. What if you had an entire deck dedicated to pumps and buffs for your arrows or your goldfin harpoons, and all you're doing is generating those for free? They're cards that aren't even in your deck. Now you've got a 60-card deck of pure pump craziness, and you're just like, oh, I just make my arrows for free. Blast, blast, blast. Like, that feels pretty good. You don't want to draw a whole handful of arrows, so you don't even have to clump your deck up with those.
Yeah.
If there's a way to give these harpoons go again, that is interesting.
Right. Like, this might be the don't bring any arrows ranger. Do you know what I mean? This would be really cool.
Trot along.
Oh,
Space 2. That's trot along.
That's a real card. That's a real card, everybody. But you can't do it on a 3 of a kind turn because so you just got to think.
Or you play the trot along out ahead of time. You go trot, then 3-oak, and then you do the things.
There you go. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, Chief, we're cooking.
Is cannon going to be her weapon? Or is cannon going to be like an item you put in play?
It better be. Do you guys know what Team 4-star is?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. The old school just get her a cannon. Bitches love cannons.
That's her quiver.
Every time I see her, that's all I see. That's all. Every time I see cannons, I'm just like, bitches love cannons.
I bet money it's going to be her version of a quiver, because she's not a real ranger that would run a quiver. So she's going to load aim counters. Instead of aim counters, it's cannons.
Okay,
that's my go.
Flavor-wise, you can't put a cannon on your back.
No, but
what the quiver slot is.
If you're a ranger, like a normal I'm hunting ranger, you've got a quiver. She is I'm a pirate hunting with a cannon. Her bow is her cannon. Okay, let's be real.
But it's literally
she's firing harpoons from a cannon.
It's a quiver slot. They've yet to really break that like flavor of stuff you're putting on your character. I think like the closest thing to breaking stuff that you put into your character is Carrion Husk, right? If you looked at the art of Carrion Husk, that thing's like a skyscraper. You're not wearing that. But
yeah, I think the harpoon is her weapon. It's not a quiver, but we'll see. Or the cannon. The cannon is her.
I want the cannon to be the quiver. It's like calling in a shot.
I really like that.
Yeah,
I really like the cannon as the quiver.
It's like calling it in. It's like I'm playing it out, and you're like calling for the backup. So you pay for your
she's
aim
a ship
counter.
Captain.
Your aim counter is you getting salvo support from your ship. Oh, dude, the flavor on this.
She's the captain of a pirate ship, so naturally she has cannons on her ship.
We have to move on to the next hero. So
I just want to play.
I
just want to play more.
Gravy bones or puffin?
Okay. No, let's not keep people waiting. Let's just talk about them. Let's talk about the guy with the bad name.
Gravy bones.
He's a shipwreck looter.
He's looting some.
My brain
ships that are
always
wrecked.
sees shipwreck loser every time I look at this card.
Yeah.
I told my wife about him. I told my wife about him. I was like, oh, his name is Gravy Bones. And I was complaining about how much I hate the name. And then she's like, yeah, but the young hero is Young Gravy. And I like Young Gravy. And I was like, oh, thanks. So now I hate him on two fronts.
Young Gravy.
So
I want to say the border. The Necromancer border. Good stuff. I like it a lot.
Oh, the
Pirate
already.
Necromancer. Yeah, the Pirate Necromancer border is really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff. So Gravy Bones, he is the shipwrecked looter. He has that instant tap thing again. Destroy a gold you control, draw a card, then discard. If a blue has been put in your graveyard this turn, you may play cards with Watery Grave from your graveyard. He has 4 intellect and has 40 health. And Call to the Grave is busted in this guy.
It's so good. It's like your
It
hero
does
power.
everything the card wants.
It's like your hero power, but you don't have to have a gold to do it.
Yep.
And it gets
then
the
other
card out of your deck that you want. Sorry to interrupting you.
Yes.
If we've
And
learned
Sigil
anything
Cycles,
from playing TCGs, tutors are good.
and Sigil Cycles, the reason why it went crazy is because you get to put Sigil Cycles into your grave, which is a blue, and then you get to put the card that you want, like your ally, into the graveyard.
So you're doing
In the
double
same
duty.
action. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
No, that makes
or
sense.
like you have it in your hand the turn you need to do it. It's a blue also, so it goes into the graveyard. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know if Sigil Cycles will make the final list, but Call to the Grave is insane.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, very much so.
I think it's a good hedge. Like it makes
Yeah.
sense that people are buying up
do-
the marbles.
Because like it's technically card neutral, right? Because the card that you put in the graveyard is literally about to get played out. Right? Because you have the Compass of Sunken Depths, which is an offhand Pirate Necromancer equipment that has the instant tap, look at the top card of your grave, or top card of your deck, which is whatever. But the next line is the important part, where it says the first card with Watery Grave you play from your graveyard each turn gets go again. And Watery Grave. Go ahead.
I was gonna say if things untap at the start of your turn, this offhand is insane.
It's nuts. Because now all your draw discard effects, you get to look at one more card, and if like you have no allies in hand and you need like a Watery Grave trigger to go off, you get to look at the top card of your deck, dunk it if it's not it, try again. That's really good. But Watery Grave, to be important, so because this is an important keyword, is when this is put in your graveyard from the arena. So we've already played it out as an ally, turn it face down. And I think this is the way to make sure that you do not keep recurring the same allies. Because it is a necromancer, so he gets to interact with the graveyard over and over again.
Unless they change the rules, once a card's face down, it loses all of its properties, and there's currently no way to interact with face down cards.
Yep.
Also note you cannot, at least if I'm correct for most of the rules, you cannot look at cards again that are face down. So like once
the
they
player
go,
who owns the cards can look at the cards. That's a
not the-
misconception.
not the other.
I can't
I'm sorry,
ask
not
my
the other
opponent.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your
So-
opponent can't ask you to look at your face down card is what I'm
Yep.
getting at. So you have to be mindful of what is being put face down. So you're not going, what does he have? You know what I mean? Like,
So like for Levia, for example, it was very important to ask your opponent when they were banishing, when they were Blasphemet.
Mhm.
right.
Yeah, that one. As they were banishing, like, hey, let me see the cards that you are banishing in order, because that's the only time you get to look at them.
Right.
And
you
so
gotta
that way you're able to
commit
count
that
like blood
memory.
rush spells and things like that. Yeah. So you had to like count the important cards and check them. So yeah. So far it looks like we've seen 2 of his allies with Watery Grave, and they're interesting. Chum is going to be a pain in the ass.
Chum is
I don't like-
a little more
Chum's
than interesting.
wild.
Chum is pretty strong. So
Yeah, Chum's a card.
this is the first kind of card of its type. I mean, clearly Necromancer, but we've never had a card that's like face up with a green circle in the bottom right corner, right?
Yeah, I was going to talk about that in a second.
Well, Chum, friendly first mate, yellow bar, 4 cost, 4 attack, 6 life. Action, tap, attack. Instant, tap, discard a card with Water Grave until the end turn. Opponents must choose this as a target of attacks if able, and it itself has Watery Grave on it. This card seems really interesting. Like, it could either swing for 4 or soak up almost a whole turn worth of damage.
And it doesn't say legendary.
Yeah, you can have 3 of those things out at
You're going to
once.
have a lot of first mates named Chum.
Yeah.
You do lose a card to do it. You have to discard a card with Watery Grave, which, by the way, might be a good thing, right? Like you maybe want
Playing
to
into what you want to do.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting playing against allies that don't have Phantasm.
You have to interact with them directly. Yeah.
Yeah, you ever like had a Nazareth on board and go, uh-oh.
So my thing is, it's going to be funny seeing. I think this is really, really interesting card design because I think this card kind of sucks into tall decks. Because say you're like a Guardian or whatever, you just get to kill this thing pretty cleanly. But say you're, well, Marlin, right? And you go Rain Razor 3 of a kind. They can say, cool, chum. And that like hoses their turn. So it's like ALS versus aggressive decks.
It's not ALS.
It's not as good as ALS.
Yeah.
It's not as good as ALS, but it's like that idea. You have to deal with this first. And anybody who has played a Nazareth, a Blasphemet, Uvia, like all the 6 health dudes, they're a pain to kill. They are really, really, really annoying to kill.
Welcome back, Warrior Cleave.
So, like, yeah, Cleave is good, but in order for someone to force you to attack it, they have to lose a card from hand, and they had to spend several cards to establish this as well, unless there's a way to cheat out your allies, which we don't know yet. So yeah, we'll have to see. And if you tap at the untap at the start of your turn, attacking with him makes it where you can't use his effect.
So he's on rate if he does this thing exactly, right? Like every ally, Jeremy or local Jeremy has a good thing about allies that they're all statted to attack once, right? To where, so like Chum, if you attack with him once, he swung for 4, and then if he gets killed for 6, right, that's 10 points of value, and he costs 4, so that's 2 cards to pay for him, right?
Yep.
So that's a 3 card 10, which is like rate. That is exact rate.
Yep.
Right, but if he gets to attack twice, now he's above rate. And at 4, that's really annoying. That's such an annoying number to just keep getting hit with.
We got a couple more Necromancer cards. We got like a run of red cards. Board the ship, paddle faster, and hoist them up. They all interact with the tap mechanic in some way, are specifically tapping an ally you can control. So very likely we're going to get some kind of like fodder allies to empower some of these cards. So for example, board the ship is a 2 for 6, 3 block, notable. When this attacks, you may tap an ally you control. If you do, this gets overpower. So we're gonna probably have a bunch of necro cards that all kind of like follow that flavor of like using your allies to affect your attacks and non-attack actions. So imagine being able to clear the board is probably important. And so then, yep, chart the high seas. Yeah, the Majestic. Is that what you're about to mention?
No, I was going to mention that all these cards are in order. So it's like C 53, 54, 55 for the cycle of red cards that we got. So we're not getting them in yellow and blue.
Yep, that probably makes sense.
Yeah.
So
chart the high seas is crazy. Let's talk about that card.
Yeah, chart the high seas. This is the card that like makes me kind of excited for the class. Because it's blue focused, and anytime we're blue focused, MST, things get a little strong, right? So chart the high seas is a 0 cost pirate necromancer action Majestic with 3 block. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck. You may pitch a blue card from among them, put the rest into your graveyard. Create a gold token for each yellow card put into your graveyard this way. So this is almost the same, in some ways better than Visit the Goldmane Estate, because it doesn't cost 1.
Well, this, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't this the first card that's letting you pitch from cards you don't even have in your hand? Like, this is extension on a different level. You're looking at cards and then just pitching one from the top of your deck.
Flame.
Tome of Imperial Flame has you pitch to its effect, and then you gain resources.
Yeah, but you draw the 2 cards off the top of your deck, and you can just put them right into the pitch.
This is like, looking like I'm trying to opt, and I found a blue that's not in my hand, and I can pitch from the. I mean, guess it's essentially the same as bringing it to your hand.
Tome's effect of bringing it to your hand is actually just straight up better, because like, let's say that in the top you see another chart the high seas, you have to choose that one if you're trying to like do the pitch, where if it was more like Tome of Imperial Flame, you actually get to draw it, and then you could maybe pitch another blue into it instead.
That's true. Yeah.
I am curious about it because it looks like the gold engines for these heroes are going to be at Majestic, because if you've looked at the macro that we've seen, Treasure Island, basically nobody cares about draft besides me. So like it basically creates all the gold that people need for draft. So it looks like the Majestic cards are going to be the gold engines for each hero. And so that means that it looks like Gravy's going to be in Constructor is going to be playing a lot of like or yellow and blues. Like that seems to be his colors. And I find that interesting because usually like historically you want to be like a blue-red class or a like a yellow-red class kind of thing. You always wanted to have interaction with reds.
Well, so far we've had a very red-heavy ally-based hero in Dromai. We've got a very yellow-heavy ally-based hero in Prism. It makes sense that we finally got one that's blue.
That's true.
Yeah.
They do try to fill out their color wheel, right?
Yeah. We've also seen one more ally. We don't know where he comes from yet. Like we don't know his set number. We don't know if he's just like a card that goes in your deck or if he's like created some other way. His name is Rigor Mortis. He is a yellow pitch, 1 cost. His action, you tap him, but you also have to pay 1 with him to attack, and he attacks for 6. It's a big
By the
number.
way, this was when I first saw them, this was the one that I was more worried about, because in decks
I'm
that
terrified of this
can't
guy.
deal 1 damage efficiently, this card is terrifying. It either eats your whole turn up, just like Chum would anyway. And if you don't attack him, he's swinging for 6 every turn. And 6, like, you do have to pay a resource, but 6 is notably more than 4 in the math terms, right?
This card into a Guardian is a 2-card 9 or 10, depending on how you want to do the math.
Oof.
And it depends on what hammer the Guardians bring, because they may need the Sledge or bigger hammer to get rid of Chum.
I mean, yeah, like, you're running Sledge to kill Chum. So,
yeah, if you're running Sledge to kill Chum, they throw a Rigor Mortis at you. This is a 2-card 12, because you're going to pay the 1 to get it out, right? Pay the 1 card, you're going to swing it. It swung for 6 damage, and then I'm going to spend a whole Sledge to kill this thing.
Man, at least you know that once they're gone, they're gone. No remembrance bringing these boys back.
Yeah, but this is... If you are a low action point deck, I am very scared of Mr. Mortis.
All right, our last hero is Puffin Hightail, a pirate mechanologist. Very down on this hero when she first got spoiled, and then literally 1 card kind of made it for me.
Oh, okay. I'll let you talk about her. I don't see how you're down on her.
Yeah, action, tap, destroy a gold you control, create a gold card token. The second time you crank each turn, draw a card. Okay, cranking items is like the worst thing you do to them. It really is. Like the only items that get their full value when you crank them are boom grenades if you hit, and backup protocols. Every other item you crank it, you lose a large portion of the value. So the fact that you're having to put your gold token out, crank it to get your action point back, and then you have to somehow manifest another 0 block card out of your deck, because that means it was probably in your hand, and then crank it, it doesn't feel good. It feels pretty bad. But the interaction between Golden Cog and the card that they released shortly after she got spoiled, Sky Skimmer, comes in the full rainbow, blue, red, yellow, 0 cost. Once per turn, instant tap a cog you control. This gets +1 or go again with a base of 4. So this is a 0 cost 5 go again, I feel like. Like if the Golden Cog engine isn't too tedious to keep going.
It's not and.
Oh. Or.
So it's either 4 go again, go again, or a 5 power finisher.
Yeah, 5 power.
Still
good.
Really,
still good.
Really good.
Not busted, just good.
Well, I mean, I'm also excited because Soup Up is now going to be very consistently a 4 go again, because you're going to have an engine of items that are breaking at the start of your turn. So you got another 4 go again that's going into your deck very seamlessly. Seems good. Why are you on top of her, like just reading her hero text? Where
Dude,
I
she's
was
busted.
Like, I don't think so. Explain.
She draws cards. That's all I need. She's an aggro deck that draws cards and has an engine that with recursive go again.
Yeah.
Like, those are all good things.
You have to put a bunch of
Acilio draws
in your
cards
deck.
and he's no good.
I don't even know if we need to put that many non-blocks in your deck. Like, you're going to play backup protocol because that card's good.
Yep, backup protocol red.
I don't know if you play processor, because processor is good when you have action points and access to looking at the top of your deck. I don't know if we play that one, but like,
Null
as
Time
long
Zone.
as there's you play Null Time Zone just because of it, like its utility. You play that one. That one's a good one. You may play like some of the blocky ones because those are interesting-ish, but like just being able to create the golden cog at random points, and we're going to get cards that make cogs.
Yes.
Because like full stop. And so like if you have 2 golden cogs out or whatever at any point, you just crank, go, because golden cog does nothing. Oh, we haven't read golden cog. Golden cog. Did we read golden cog?
No. Okay.
No,
You're right. It does
golden
nothing.
cog. It does nothing. It literally just says crank, and if it entered the arena, put a steam counter on it, and then destroy it if it doesn't have one.
Yeah.
It just has all the normal like item text.
It is like literally a boring do nothing crank item.
It is literally just a thing for you to increase your actions per minute as you're playing the hero. And she says draw cards, which is insane in aggro decks, and she has a way to turn those golden cogs back into gold, which is also good.
Yeah, that's going to be the Majestic they spoiled for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Golden Skywarden, 4 cost, 7 attack, yellow. Specifically, it has the Galvanized keyword with some extra flavor to it. It says, when this defends, you may destroy an item you control. If you do, this gets +1 defense. If a golden cog is destroyed this way, create a gold token and repeat this process. This card looks really good.
Yeah, it's good. It's a solid card. You're never hoping to actually throw out the 4 for 7, but you are very happy. And she's also going to get a new weapon. Like, that's exciting too. We don't know what her weapon is yet, and she already has an engine that draws cards. You already have a like bones between Soup Up, Sky Skimmer, and some other just like mech good stuff. You already have like 20, 25 cards in the deck that you're happy with and not like upset about. And we haven't even seen her set.
The parrot's the weapon, by the way.
The parrot's
100%.
the hero, you mean?
No, the parrot's the hero.
Someone's already posted a meme of the parrot sitting on top of the horse.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, you got Puffin and Victor working together. But yeah, I think she's going to be crazy. Or like she has the potential to be crazy. Let's put it that way.
I'm excited.
All 3 of these heroes do. All 3 of these heroes, like, you could have either half of their text box and they would be a really good hero.
All 3 of them look very complex and exciting.
Yes. I am annoyed that they are pirates because I don't love the theme, but I might have to buy into this set because these mechanics look insane.
I need a case, at least. I love all 3 classes. I'm so in because I'm a Shadow stan, even though he's not technically a Shadow. Necromancer is close enough. And then already been big on Ranger and Mechanologist for forever.
Yeah, I will definitely be building Gravy Bones, regardless of how much I hate the names.
We didn't talk about that. I hate the name. I hate the name so much.
It grew on me. Like, my first impression was, that's dumb. And then I said it a few times. I'm like, I like saying this name.
I don't like saying this name. I feel like I had a dog. I bought a bunch of Gravy Bones for my dog.
I mean, he looks like a dog would enjoy chewing on him. I mean,
yeah,
exactly. I don't want that as my super powerful hero that's going to kill people.
Okay, I think my main issue was I didn't quite get the pun at first because of the way gravy is spelled. But then the more I thought about it, I realized grave E. It's stupid, but it took me a little while to actually get it. And then once I got it, I'm like, yeah, that's still stupid, but it's tolerable.
Bones.
It's more tolerable.
Yeah,
grave E, grave.
It sounds
grave,
like
yeah.
Davy Jones, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a total play on Davy Jones.
For sure.
But it's
If
got
you're
the
going for a
wings.
corny name and you're dialing up like the hamminess of it, it's like the perfect name for that.
It is.
Yeah.
He's the shipwreck
But I hate
looter.
it.
He's
I
getting
don't want that.
gravy. Gravy's money. He's got gold. This all works out. It's really silly.
His name is the ultimate pun. It really is.
It's good. It's good.
I
It's
always
good.
think that this is what their conversation was at LSS. Is like, no, it's too stupid. And they're like, it just works on so many layers.
Right. They were like, it's stupid, but we got to do it.
But he's the
They're
first
right.
necromancer. He should have a cooler name. He should actually feel like an
Gravy
edgelord.
Bones.
He should feel like an edgelord, not a
He
pun.
might be.
That was my
Gravy Bones.
Oh yeah, we're going to because he's going to be freaking powerful. But I'm just saying, the name is dumb. The name is done.
We mentioned this in passing while talking about gold and like gold engines, but I actually, as soon as I read this macro, it got me kind of excited for the limited scene, because I just think the gold is just going to be flowing out of our ears. So the macro that they've released, and I think this is such a cool design space to have these cards that are limited only. Treasure Island.
I love macros.
The first time a hero is attacked each turn, put a gold counter on this. Whenever you or an ally you control deals damage to an opposing hero, you may remove that many gold counters from this, then create gold tokens equal to the number of counters removed this way. That is not a once a game effect. That's not a break it. It builds up gold counters on it until you hit them, and then you get all the gold.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, Victor read this card and said, "Why can't I go to Treasure Island?"
We don't know why you would hold on to your gold yet, outside of like maybe there's things of like if your opponent controls a gold versus if your opponent doesn't control the gold. Things that control a gold. There we go. Who knows?
If you've created a gold this turn.
Yeah, there could be effects like that, but man, all three of these heroes look really strong and they look really good. And they're very flavorful.
Blues are kind of good in limited too. If you just have like a ton of gold, blues are really good in limited.
Well, we don't know yet, right? Like blues are good in limited if you have a recursive weapon, which Ranger doesn't. We don't know what Puffin's weapon is, and we don't know Gravy's weapon.
We don't know. It won't be. Maybe she makes javelins or harpoons or something.
Yeah, we don't know. Like, there's just so much we don't know. This is, if you're talking about the bones of the set, this is really good bones.
It is important to say, and I think we mentioned earlier, that there is an armory deck already slated to come out for Gravy Bones.
Yes, that is huge.
So that is huge in a couple of ways. I look at it a couple of ways. Either rightly so, the hero needs support, or it needs some extra cards, or they just, I don't know, but it feels this is the first time that they've released a hero and then ultimately released the armory deck pretty much at the same time, or at least put it out there.
The armory deck comes out before he does.
Yeah, timing wise, that comes out pre-release weekend.
Oh, okay. So this is a, hey, we know this class is going to be really fun, probably really powerful, and you might want to pick it up and play it. And so newer players or players wanting to get in the scene, this is the kind
of $40 way to get into the game without having to buy a full play set of chums.
Also, it makes the way US Nats is structured a little more palatable. Like if you want to play Gravy Bones at US Nats, there's an easier way to get to it now.
But only Gravy Bones. If you pick the other two, sorry.
Yeah.
Your armory decks are somewhere down the road.
You already have items and stuff from previous sets that work.
Yeah. I'd also like to know as well that they're advertising it as a Blitz and CC deck. So that's really cool.
That's interesting.
There'll probably be an insert on like how you transition it between the two.
That means it's going to be 62 chums, by the way, just so we're aware of.
No, just give me 32 ofs, and then you just say take out 10 of them, and now you have a blitz deck.
I mean, that would be the easiest way to do it, but I don't necessarily know if that's exactly
there'll definitely be 3 ofs, but I think of the notables there will be 2 ofs, and that's why it'll be a blitz kind of like you're going to get 2 chumps. Let's just be real, because you're not going to get 3, because you didn't get 3 arc lightnings. So get 2.
That's a good comparison.
You only get 2. You got to find that third one.
Would you rather have 2 chums or 2 charts in the deck?
I'd rather have 2 charts.
I want 3 charts.
I think I want chum to be the 2 of, and I think I want 3 charts.
We don't know if it'll even have charts.
It probably won't, but if it does.
Because we don't know what will be in this armory deck just yet, but it is something to definitely look forward to. I think the set's going to be great. It will probably continue the trend. I haven't really heard anything about it, the MSRP hike, so I would assume it would come out right around the same price that Hunted came out of.
I think it's the same price.
So
some people arguing about that yesterday. Yeah,
I think definitely kind of be looking for the same prices as Hunted. If it has any type of esteem that Hunted does, which it probably does, you might run into Hunted problems before you even know it with the set. So might want to jump on that.
They've got to know that this set is going to be extremely hyped. They're not going to have the same print issue that they had with the Hunted.
No comment.
I think they knew Hunted was going to be hyped. I just don't think it's...
Who knows?
So the worst thing a game company can do is overprint their game.
Oh yeah,
if a board game company does it, they immediately go out of business. Like if their board game overprints and they can't like get their inventory into stores, they just go out of business immediately. And card games are probably very similar. Now, they've been around long enough that hopefully they've put some capital aside where if they ever do overprint, they're not just dead in the water. I mean, we saw that they overprinted Monarch and it didn't kill them.
No, but it definitely was an
Probably
unfun
learned a
experience.
lesson. Yep.
It also
learned-
hurt them a lot.
They definitely learned a lesson, and then I think after they did that, like I said, they dumped the whole Everfest Unlimited because they said this is already overprinted as it is. They were like, just whatever's out there is out there, and they burned the rest or shredded it. So they've got a good grapple on it. I think they like the idea that's going on now, where stores are getting product. They might not be getting like a metric ton of it, and it will run out, but it means that it doesn't sit on the shelf and it's like hard to move. So they get it, they move it, and then they can allocate more to it, and maybe it's like a slow leak until it's all been leaked out. So it might take longer to get it out there, and you might have to hold off for a second or do some trading and things like that. But what it does do is it keeps there from being like, some insane amount of boxes just floating around everywhere, and then there's just a ton of bloat, because that's usually what happens with some of these newer sets. Finally, when everybody gets their cards and they open it, like, you just watch it just do this, and it's just like there's just a bloat of cards, and it takes 5 years for the market to ever come back on these.
Even Part the Misveil, like, you could still easily find that set, and all three heroes are quite popular. But Rosetta and Hunted,
Well, they're also
wild.
They're also rotating out pretty quickly too. Those Misfell heroes.
Yeah.
Misfell was arguably too good a set. And if we just wanted to mention it in passing, Sao Paolo calling happened.
Oh yeah.
I want to
yeah.
point out that this was a really big turnout for Brazil. Brazil has been pushing super hard to get more events in their area, and so this calling was really important to them. And I'm happy it went well, and the finals was really exciting and emotional. All right, as I was saying before Discord decided to lose its mind, I was pretty excited to hear that about calling Sao Paulo, because I see them pop up in social media a lot. Hey, bring more FAB to South America. So it's really cool to see a calling, and their turnout and enthusiasm was really infectious to watch. And the finals, well, I'm sure like the other guy, the opponent wasn't too plus to have like 20 people jump into the booth when it ended, celebrating his loss. I'm still excited for the Brazilian guy who took it down for Brazil at the first calling in Brazil. So super cool. Congratulations. There were some interesting things that happened on camera throughout the calling. I think that's it just happens. I don't know how to fix it, but we saw like a Vin set in day one. Like, I'm not going to say cheat, but do some really weird stuff that didn't make any sense, and the game states just got all borked.
Yeah, it's my comment for the end of the thing this time, when it's acceptable to take your tunic up, because let me tell you, it's not after you played 2 cards. That's not when you go, you know what? That should be on 3. I'm gonna fix that real quick.
That's like armory stuff, right? Because
I paused the video and just started laughing. I was like, you can't be serious. I was like, he just looks at the dice and he goes, that should be a 3.
And then we had what I think will be a pretty infamous example of how to handle the attack reaction phase of the game happen in the top 8 with a Dorinthia.
Everybody was so excited to see Dory, and then it was 3 misplays, like brutal misplays. Everybody can talk about should have done Iron Song response, not twinning, whatever. When you miss a counter on your Dawn Blade, that's pretty bad. When you don't double Blade Fury for some reason, that's pretty bad, because once you pass those attack reactions,
not ideal.
Let's get some context, because you could see there could be an argument that like there needs to be an agreement between the two that what like resolving a card is, but it's very clear that he resolved the card when he flipped the dice from 6 to 8, right? And whether he did that on purpose or not, that's the card resolving. And then when you gestured your hand out at your opponent, you've made a clear indication that you've passed priority, and he was pretty clear about it. And that's it. You're done. Your attack reaction phase is over.
Once you literally say, hey, you got any defense reactions? To me, what you're saying is, hey, I'm done. Because if I don't have to play a defense reaction, and if I don't, then we're done. The window's over. So if you want to stack your A reacts, just stack them out. Like, just play Blade Fury, and go, okay, pass. And now play. The turn doesn't change.
You should be really clear with your language, right? And so also, I think that's where things got super confusing. Like, how clear was he with his language? Was he passing resolution of his attack reaction, or was he passing priority after attack reactions?
So if you're playing an attack react based deck, you should know how this part of the game works.
Yep.
Like, come on.
For sure.
Dot your eyes, cross
You
your
should-
T's.
Now,
You play Blade Fury and you say holding priority, and you at that point when you say that the air is open. If he doesn't want to play anything, you go, okay, I'm playing another Blade Fury, pass defense reactions, because like that's proper. Hold your priority.
But let's get a
priority.
little credit because he was in the top 8 of a major event and on camera being watched by 3,000 people. Nerves were probably a thing.
You
can
see the
it's
hands.
nerves.
You can see the hand shaking.
That's misplays are misplays, and like I'm not gonna dog on the guy for a misplay. I will dog on a guy for not like understanding how to communicate in a deck that he's probably like that's muscle memory at that point. You know, that's not like a game time decision. That's muscle memory. That's the upsetting part to me. Well, because we could have had Dory keep going. And I want to see Dory keep going.
The upsetting part to me is blocking a power attack with 2 cards when you have an Iron Song Determination in hand and you didn't need to block it. And I know he's going to watch it back and go, he's just going to go bonkers once he sees it, because Second Strike wasn't coming in for 4. And now, granted, I know everybody in chat, you know, like there's no dice representing it, which is, you know, whatever you can call it, but like read the cards. Like you're in the top 8. There's no time limit. Take a second. Okay, 1 rune chant. I'm going to resolve that. Then read the second. Hey, how much is that coming in for? Because like you didn't take any damage. You should know what that card does. You block with 1 card. Iron Song Determination comes out. Even if he missed the counter on the sword, it should have been 5. That's 5 dominate. Aurora loses instantly on the spot.
Yep.
He can get up and dance because he can't. It's deterministic lethal with Iron Song Determination. It's built in the name of the card. I felt so bad. No, I mean it's deterministic. Even if he has a D-react, it's
Depends.
still 4.
The sigil of suffering could maybe kill him, or burn up shock. Depends if you go resources down.
All in all, just communicate your triggers, know what you're doing, understand what if you're in reactions, understand that it's pass, we're both done, or if you go here, pass, we're done.
Right.
So it would benefit everyone before you go to any like real event to review how the attack reaction, defense reaction phase works. It is by far the most complicated part of playing Flesh and Blood. It's where most of the nuance in strange things occur, is usually in the attack chain. And when I was first learning to play, that like long flow chart of how the attack chain works was the most confusing thing for me to like learn and figure out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just a refresher on priority, just priority in general.
Know your windows, know your priorities, ask to hold, communicate. Most people will say the words holding priority. Most like that's kind of what that's there for. That's the language. Hey, that's a Blade Fury. I'm holding priority. You just sit there. Oh, okay. Another Blade Fury. That's perfect. When you're done, you pass over. What it looks like is when you do the other way, it's like you're sharking to get a defense reaction, and then when they don't, you're like, oh, that's cool. Then I'll put it out, you know. But we were so close. I still a great showing for Dory. I love it. Maybe want to play Dory.
We'll do it. One.
And and Aurora won the calling.
Yep.
Yeah, Aurora won.
That Aurora won the calling. The Aurora in that game ended up winning the calling.
Yes.
But had to go through a really, really good Enigma player to get there. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, that Enigma
just really
player
good card player in general. Yeah,
dude,
Florence kind of a G. He's really good at the game.
That pump fake when he pitched the mirror guy was so brilliant. You guys need to go watch just like the last 5 minutes of the round. The Aurora's almost out of cards, and the other player pitches a mirror guy to block the arcane damage on an arc lightning, and he could have thrown a little bit more damage that turn, but he would have fatigued. But he saw the mirror guy pitch and said, "I'm not going to get womboed by a mirror guy. All right, Arsenal pass." And then killed him the next turn by just going barely above his ability to block. Ugh, so good. I don't know if I would have pump faked that guy after he pitched the mirror guy. I don't know if I would have done it or not. It's hard to know. It was brilliant. He definitely deserved the win.
There was some top tier Flesh and Blood played.
For sure.
At the calling. Great showing, some great games on camera, good array of heroes. Saw Jarl, saw one weird Aurora list with Cash Out, which I thought was funny. That didn't end up getting to do the combo in the game that we got to see it on camera. But it was a pretty wild Aurora deck. So lots of cool things. Huge shout out. And Brazil gets to keep their kind of trophy in their home in their backyard. So it
Defending
just
home
feels
turf
good
is
all
always
around.
cool.
Yeah, it feels good. I know they were super excited. Well deserved, and it looked like a bunch of fun. Like, definitely got to go back there, bring another calling back there, battle hardened big event. So that was kudos to LSS. Really taking that whole world tour type of feel to heart with Flesh and Blood.
Okay, I think that about wraps us up for the week. I don't have anything else to say.
Anybody?
Just a reminder, if you listeners out there, if you are interested in getting any of the cards that we talked about during the Market Minute, please use the affiliate link that's going to be in the description down below.
You gotta do that plug. You gotta plug it earlier, Donnie.
I forgot about it until after the fact. I remember now. I mean, so we're getting it in. It counts, I think.
Okay.
We'll plug at the beginning next time.
Our affiliate links will be in the description. So you click on those, it'll take you to storefronts that don't cost you any more money to buy the same things, and the channel gets a 3% kickback for anything that you buy.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit of help. That will cost you absolutely nothing.
Please help me. I need to buy a gravy deck. Please help me out. I need support at this point.
He needs the bones of gravy. Please.
Please.
Justin, where can everybody find you?
Oh no, we put me first. I have to remember. J_EVS5 on Twitter and Jebzo5 everywhere else.
Always.
Wet the System Fab on Twitter, at Wet the System everywhere else.
Donnie.
Draco Hominus 87 everywhere social media is sold. Twitter, Discord, Blue Sky. The big ones where Flesh and Blood happens, where people talk about Flesh and Blood. You can find me there. Hit me up. Also, I write articles for Card Gamer. The last one was, why is Fab so darn pricey? And I actually got some really good engagement on that one. That was pretty good. I got a lot of comments, and I got to interact with some people. That was actually really good. The next one I haven't really decided on, which is terrible because it's due to my editor tomorrow. It's either going to be my How to Play Flesh and Blood article, or I'm going to find something else to talk about in Blitz. We'll find out. Stay tuned.
It's not how to make Flesh and Blood more cheap.
No, it's definitely not that.
Opposite. You go, why is it so expensive? Then you go, how to make it a little more cheap.
Nah, we touched on that in the previous article. I'm really proud of that last one. I felt like it was pretty good.
It was good. It was a good one.
Big Max on Discord, at Big Max Fab on Twitter, at Big Max on Blue Sky. That's about it for now in terms of that. And also, Donnie, you can find him posting on our YouTube. He'll be floating around calling things like that. I actually saw him when I was watching the Sao Paolo chatting and giving the old chat. So you can always find him there.
I love new.
And he loves new. And I'm the best Fi player, so don't worry about that. I'll always go on Fi. All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. We hope you enjoyed catching up with us this week. And if you did, subscribe or follow depending on where you found us to catch us again next time. Until then, take care of yourselves, and remember, we're all siblings in cardboard. And I'm just going to beat the dead horse one more time. You can, take your tunic up before you make the first action, not after 2 cards were played. Just a clear indication reminder. That ain't the time.
Mind your triggers.
Yeah, mind your triggers, and please read the cards. Just read them. It's crazy. If you read them, you'd know what they do. Take care.